Hey there guys, this is Sylah, and in this video today, I'm going to talk a bit about Disc Priest and how it feels in the pre-patch. Been playing quite a bit of Disc Priest on the beta, and from what I can see, it's looking to be in a very good spot. Looks like a return to dominance fully for it. However, there are some caveats that I feel we should go over. Just as a quick disclaimer, I don't have a script for this video, it's just randomly decided to record it. And also, the build that you will see I'm using is a variation of a build that I made. If you are looking for builds that may be better suited or just a baseline, I would strongly recommend checking out Wowhead or Icy Veins. This build has just been made to my preference. Here is the talent tree for Oracle that I have made. It's, as I said, it is a variation build, just play down to my preference. There's a couple nodes that I do want to talk about. Obviously this might change as we get the Apex talents. For now, I'll be honest, I can't remember what build I was using on the beta. I uninstalled it a while ago. In terms of the priest tree, for changes, in case anyone has not been paying attention to the beta or the class changes, not a lot have changed. Some things have moved. We do have a new talent in Light Burst, which, in all honesty, it looks fun to play with. I've not really put a lot of time into it. I don't feel that it's needed, but if you want to squeeze out just an extra bit of damage every 30 seconds, you can do so. I do see a few priests, at least the ones that I've ran into as well, running with Everlasting Light. I personally don't use it because I always forget that Surge of Light even exists, but Surge of Light is still good to have. We are dropping Dominate Mind for the time being, or I am personally dropping it, mostly because I'm trying to get used to how things are, especially because I've got a new team that I'm playing with, so I'm trying to get used to the new players. Strength of Soul, obviously picking up for extra stamina. Binding Heals is still the same, and this is also going to apply our Atonement, which then plays into Protective Light and gives us a very nice defensive. If anybody is saying that Disc Priest is squishy, they're lying. We're taking Spell Warning, of course, for the extra healing, or sorry, extra magic mitigation, and of course we're running down to Translucent Image to get the Fade. I guess the choice node here, for Oracle, it feels like you do a lot of healing, so you could pump out more damage with Focus Power. I'm going to keep it on Benevolence just to make my life a little bit easier. There are a couple builds that are dropping Angelic Bulwark, and I can understand why. I'm keeping it just for the safety measure. In terms of the Disc Priest tree itself, there's a few nodes that some builds have picked up that I haven't. Obviously for Oracle, we are focusing mostly on Light and Radiant being our damage, so things like Occultist is getting dropped, things like not picking up the Shadow Fiend. The Shadow Fiend itself is a very good tool to have, especially if you are feeling like your mana is in the lacking range. Also, this talent is to be buffed from the last beta build. From what I've seen, it's going up to 100% chance, and thank goodness it is, because a 40% chance in Shadow Fiend is nasty. And considering that coming into Midnight we lost Shadow Covenant, which was our really big heal ramp, it just feels really odd. And at first it felt like mana would have been a problem, but Oracle seems to completely circumvent that with pure raw healing. We've grabbed Ultimate Penitence for the Oracle spec, and this plays into Wheel and Woe, which I'll talk about in just a second. You could pick up Barrier if you want the extra mitigation, but again, from playing Oracle, the healing that Oracle puts out is absolutely nuts, so I don't feel that it's necessary. You could pick up Indemnity as well for the extra atonement on on Power Word Shield. I don't really play with it, but it is a really good pick if you want to pick that up. We don't need Pain and Suffering because we're not bothered about our shadow damage too much. Obviously our Purge the Wicked definitely is getting picked up for the extra holy damage. I've picked up Shadow Mend. I do quite like playing with it. It's a nice chunky heal. It's a lot more than... well, right now, the tooltip itself is a little bit odd, because sometimes it says it does the same as Flash Heal, sometimes it says more, but this one is due to be buffed again, which is going to be really nice on that one. And we also have Searing Light, which is giving an extra dot. Now, the cool thing about this dot itself is that that dot is doing atonement healing as well. So you can see here, atonement healing, and also we have piety going off as well. Well, you can't really see it because I forgot I have a chat block on, but the dot from penance is also doing a bit of healing. So, good job me for forgetting that. We're picking up Eternal Barrier for the extra duration and absorb on Oracle. The whole idea with this Oracle spec, considering we also are picking up preventative measures, is we are buffing our Power Word Shield to be absolutely massive, and then we are going to pump out as many penances that we can just to keep buffing that Power Word Shield. This is playing into the new Wheel and Woe. So Wheel and Woe used to give the an increase to Smite or Power Word Shield. Now it is purely for Power Word Shield. So this also means that Voidweaver is dropping it. But we'll talk about Voidweaver in a bit. In all honesty, I prefer Voidweaver to Oracle, but Oracle's output is insane. So I would definitely look at playing Oracle if you are newer to this piece. It's a lot more forgiving. One of the nodes that a lot of people don't, or the builds that I've seen don't pick up, is Divine Precision. Oh, sorry, Divine Procession. God, I can't read. I like using this build and using this talent because it's going to make Atonement a lot easier to manage. But again, Oracle, you can drop it because we do have Preemptive Care, which is giving our Atonement a massive 4-second increase as well. So, for example, even by using Plea, I've got an 18-second Atonement, and then if I keep spamming Smite, that's just going to get increased. And obviously this will increase Atonement of characters that don't have it. But yeah, duration just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. In single target, you're going to end up with an Atonement that pretty much just never falls out. If you're keeping only one Atonement up. For the Oracle tree itself that's changed, the main thing is that the whole hero talent tree itself has been changed. For me, I feel it's for the worse, but that's just because using Machine Gun Penance was really fun. So our first node for Oracle was, originally it was called Premonition, which would give us the 3 buffs, so it would be Insight, Piety, and Solace. So Insight has been baked in, now we have like a lesser version of it, which if anybody had the tier set for Season 3, this is pretty much the Insight that you would get from it. So Penance now has 2 charges, which is really nice, because Penance itself does heal for quite a bit. And also we can use it for damage, which is lovely. We'll go down this side of the tree first. So we've got Words of the Wise, which is just a straight up healing increase for Flash Heal, Plea, and Power Word Radiance. If you don't know what Plea is our level 80 instant cast heal that will apply Atonement. Doesn't heal for a lot, it is fairly cheap in terms of like the grand scheme of things. I mean, it costs, what, 700 mana less than a Flash Heal, but it's instant cast and it's going to apply Atonement. And we've got that because Renew doesn't exist anymore. Then we'll pick up Prophet's Insight, which is going to increase the healing from Atonement on holy spells. So this is also why we've opted to take Purge the Wicked and not take Occultist. So this itself is going to increase the Atonement healing, which is going to be helpful because, again, latest beta build, Atonement healing was nerfed by 5%. I mean, ouch. Down this side of the tree we have Waste No Time, so Power Word Shield is going to have a reduced cooldown. This used to be the instant cast of Radiance whenever we popped Premonition, which has now been baked into Evangelism, so Evangelism was reworked as well. I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but there's a few things that I genuinely am forgetting. This is why it's better to do a script for these things. So this will, what Evangelism used to do was, it was kind of like an emergency or, well, there's two ways you could have played it. You could either use it as an emergency skill, or you could have used it as a ability to help you ramp. So now it immediately does the Power Word Radiance at 150% of its effectiveness, so it's stronger Power Word Radiance, and it makes the next two of them instant cast and reduce mana cost. So Disc itself kind of absorbed the original version of Waste No Time into its whole kit, which does help for Voidweaver, and again, we will talk about Voidweaver in a bit. And the older version of Evangelism was it would just increase the duration of Atonement and do a big heal. So this is, I feel it's a better change, but it is what it is. And for its choice node, you can pick up Archangel for the extra healing and absorb, or you can pick up Mindbender if you feel you're struggling on mana. So I would have a little think about that. For Oracle, I don't feel it's needed. You're never running out of mana, unless you're really trying, or at least when I play it, I don't really run out of mana. I mean, I do get low, but I can still heal regardless. Anyhow, back to it. So we also have Foreseen Circumstance, so Pain Suppression is going to reduce additional damage, which is nice. So Piety was another part of Premonition, so this has been baked in, which is, but if I remember correctly, I could be wrong. Someone in the comments will probably correct me on this. It used to be, I think it was 40% of overhealing, but it's 20% now. It's redistributed, and this is one of the things that makes Oracle kind of busted. Like, once you've got Penance spamming out, you are pretty much golden, and you're not needing to worry about any kind of healing. And then Solace has been removed, which, thank goodness, because Solace was useless. Solace was used to give a big shield on a heal, which I guess was okay, but in terms of the other two premonitions, it wasn't great. And Clairvoyance was changed to Twin Sight, which is going to fire an additional penance to an enemy or a ally. Usually this prioritizes an ally. Well, I mean, it already says it's prioritized healing an ally, but anyhow. And then we have preventative measures for Power Word Shields. So Oracle itself is based around just really fat Power Word Shields. In terms of playstyle, I mean, the main thing you are going to do is shield up your tank, Shadow Word Pain. You can Mind Blast here if you want. You don't have to if you don't want to, but then you're going to Penance. And then you're just going to go in and spam Smite. Keep up your Shadow Word Pain. You can pop your Flash Shields as well. And as you can see, I have Wheel of Woe. I did double Penance there, but you can put the Power Word Shield up. And this Power Word Shield is going to be, in terms of stat squish, it's still going to be massive. So for playstyle wise, it's going to be keep Atonement up, which with the damage build I've kind of gave or shown is going to be pretty easy. Smite is going to keep refreshing Penance, and then every time you Penance, you're going to Power Word Shield, and don't drop your Smite, or sorry, don't drop your Shadow Word Pain. Power Infusion still the same, and obviously if you're going for big healing, you can go Power Word Radiance into Ultimate Pen, and this is going to pump out massive healing, and out of that you're going to get that huge Power Word Shield. Moving on to Voidweaver, which is my preferred spec. The main deal with Voidweaver right now is that we have seen a significant nerf to one of our major abilities, which for some reason I cannot find because I am blind. There it is, Void Infusion. So we had a talent where when Entropic Rift was up, we would increase our Entombment healing by 100%, which made Voidweaver the burst healer. So for example, with Oracle, you had a lot of consistent healing, a lot of healing that can be done outright and it would stay consistent the whole way through. Voidweaver, on the other hand, was the easier spec to play because you didn't have to think about your premonition, but it was also more punishing because all of your big healing came from your Entropic Rift. And there was one part I didn't mention for Oracle, which I will mention here, and that is Shadow Tap. Shadow Tap just made Mind Blast do way more damage, so that turned Mind Blast into a massive heal, even for Voidweaver as well. For the spec that I have used for this, most of it I believe is the same as what other builds have, specifically because we're taking Greater Smite. We are focusing more on doing damage for this tree itself, rather than outright healing. Unlike Oracle, yes, we are still going to use our Power Word Shield, but it is not as strong. Specifically because we're not taking things like Eternal Barrier. I mean, you could drop Divine Procession and Greater Smite and drop into Eternal Barrier. Not a big fan of that. I also found that Voidweaver tends to run into quite a bit of mana problems. That's why I'm picking up the Shadow Fiend. And to combat some of the healing issues that Voidweaver was having, at least from my experience, we've also opted to take Evangelism. With Evangelism's Choice Node Archangel to give us the extra healing and absorb. Because we're not really focused on our big shields, we're not going to be picking up Wheel and Woe. Obviously, if they change Wheel and Woe back to increase smite damage, which I highly doubt since we have Greater Smite now, but this itself, not very worth it for Voidweaver in my opinion. We don't need Shadow Mend because we are still, pumping out quite a bit of healing. You could take it if you want. I mean, you could drop, for example, a talent out of Greater Smite if you don't really need it that much and pick up Shadow Mend. Preferably, I would take out of Searing Light and go for Shadow Mend, but again, this is kind of the build I'm playing with. In terms of the tree, things haven't really changed too much. Obviously, this is the new side of it, where, what was it here? Oh, it was Void Heart. That was the one that gave the Atonement healing. Yeah, this used to be 100% and now it's 20, which really sucks. But basically with this and Void Infusion, you're looking at 70% increased healing for Void Blast and Penance, roughly thereabouts. Void Heart itself is going to persist when Entropic Rift ends, and Overwhelming Shadows is going to make Mind Blast hit even harder. Mind Blast with Shadow Tap is 150% more damage. Overwhelming Shadows makes it 200%. In terms of playstyle, the big difference is that you're revolving all of your burst healing around your Mind Blast so that you can get your Entropic Rift going. So again, let's say we're going into a pool, and some burst damage is coming. I'm going to pop Mind Blast, and now I'm going to spam my Shadow Words, my Smites. I'm going to keep my Atonement up with the Radiance. You can throw in more Penances as well. I'll be honest, I tend to forget that Penance even exists on this build. And that is the gist of it for it there. So Burst Healing is revolved around the Mind Blast. I've included some sped up clips here for the Oracle and Voidweaver. The key in the background here is a 7 Arakara. This one was a bit of a harsh key in my opinion, like we had a couple deaths which I could have prevented, but I really wasn't paying much attention to it at the time. I was chatting with a few friends on Discord while doing this key. But most of the gameplay itself, as you can see, as soon as I'm getting Wheel and Woe, I'm trying my best to spend it on a Power Word Shield. Managed to get clipped by an AoE, which was even funnier. But yeah, whenever I get Wheel and Woe, there's times where I'm double penancing to get the 10 stack, which I am kind of letting loose, which is not the best way to do this. Using my Power of the Dark Side procs whenever I get a chance, putting up my Shadow Word Pains. There was quite a lot of poison stats going out, and also Priest can't dispel poisons. But other than that, the key itself did go pretty well. If I remember correctly, we timed this one. But yeah, I mean, Oracle play does seem to be very bursty in terms of healing. Even when doing keys with the new team I'm in, we didn't really run into many issues or mana issues. I think this key was yesterday or it was the day before. And just going through the motions of it, like there is probably a lot of things that I could have done better for the key itself, but obviously that is what it is. And the paladin jumped off the edge, which was even funnier. The two demon hunters that are in the party, one of them was our augmentation evoker in our team, but they're going to be playing Devourer Demon Hunter, and Viladra is the other demon hunter who is in our team. He's actually a brand new player as well. We did choose to reset the boss here because the pool was a bit gaumy. I think if I remember correctly, I think Naroki actually pulled the boss by accident, and I was kind of like, hello? Like, please don't. Because I'm trying to, like, guide Viladra through all of the keys as well. I'm probably saying the name wrong as well. I'm pretty sure it's Viladra. I was trying to also tell them how to do, like, the high key strat, which is, you know, obviously putting yourself between the boss, but obviously this isn't a video about how to do Arakara. This is Disc Priest. There are times where I am penancing players directly, which does actually work really well. It does heal quite a lot, and this paladin was pretty much like popping defensives all the best times as well, so I was having a grand time with the tank here. But I'll let the video play out sped up so that you guys can see the rest of the fight. Put some music in the background. There's not really much more to discuss about Disc Priest. I will make a full-on Disc Priest guide once we have the Apex talents, and we'll also start doing VODs of the key itself. So I actually forgot to start recording on this key, but this is a 10 Floodgate with me on Voidweaver rather than playing Oracle, and the healing output itself is okay. We did have a lot of how can I say? We did have quite a few moments where things got a bit iffy. That's people's UIs being a bit messy in the background. Also, I hope you guys don't mind the repeated song in the background. This is just a track that was made on... it was a prompt I put in AI and I just really liked it, so I just repeated it constantly. Apologies if it's not the best and people aren't a fan of it, but I like it, it's my video, so I'm going to do what I want. Things do get a little bit dicey in this key, which is really not a problem with Oracle, but it does seem to be one for for Voidweaver, and also because of the... it kind of feels like, with the reduction to the duration in Atonement, trying to keep up the stacks is a lot harder. If I remember correctly, I think this key kind of went a bit ski-whiff at some point. I'm pretty sure that during this next boss, I ended up having to pull people to the debuff and trying to guide, for example, again, Valadra through the keys while trying to figure out the spec again it was a fun little challenge, and Valadra being new to keys, he's doing really, really well. I mean, I know a lot of people might turn around and say, oh, it's Demon Hunter, but remember, this guy's not played retail before, or not in recent times, and he's absolutely smashing. He's doing so, so well. I'm so proud of him, and I'm really looking forward to doing keys with him in Midnight. There was, for that pull, I did have to pop Evangelism just to get the extra healing, because things did get a bit dicey. Trying to squeeze in a few drinks here and there. But yeah, the first boss was fairly simple. I think the second boss we had Naroki die, which was really unfortunate. I could have prevented it, but I was too slow. Managed to eat a stun on this boss as well, because, you know, I'm eating stuns like they're candy. But yeah, I will leave this one to play out for Voidweaver, and once I have some more time on my hands, I will definitely look to create a guide on how to play both the healer specs for Disc, so both Oracle and Voidweaver. I would say if you need the burst healing, definitely go for Voidweaver. If you prefer the consistency, go for Oracle. It does look like it's going to be an Oracle season though, so I'm not too happy about that. I do think that Voidweaver needs a little bit more attention to it. The reduction in Atonement healing that it got was really, really painful. It could have just been left the way it was, considering that Entropic Rift is when the where all the burst healing from Disc comes from, Voidweaver Disc comes from. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll leave this to play out. Apologies for the scuffed video, but I wanted to get something out there. And I will be back streaming as soon as I can, and we'll be doing keys a lot, we'll be doing a lot of Disc Priest play. In terms of other classes for healing, I will be healing this season again. I don't know what I'll be picking up. I'm quite interested in picking up Caster Mistweaver again, because I really enjoyed it on the beta. Did play a bit of Shaman, wasn't a huge fan of it. Holy Pally looks pretty good. I might even dip my toes into Preservation Evoker this season as well. But for main class, we're going to be looking at the Disc Priest. So, thank you guys, take care, have a good one.